Taylor Swift's Begin Again follows a pretty regular pop structure, which I'll write above here for you. The first part you need to know, the A section or the verse, sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Took a deep breath in the mirror. Didn't like it when I wore high heels, but I do. Alright, I'm just going to take that first part and show you that much. And I started getting a little bit fancy. I'm going to have like a dress-up tutorial later, or you can watch the cover to see what I'm doing or why. But I'll keep it simple for you. So we've just got a G for the first chord here. So that's G's in your left hand. You can play a G, D, and G if you can reach all those notes. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Just drop them out. Keys are the G's, or 1, in your left hand. In your right hand, D, G, and B. All right? So that first chord, that G, you're just going to hold it for 2 measures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. This is part of the verse, and then you're going to go into took a deep breath in the mirror, and you're still playing that same chord. He didn't like it when I wore high heels, but I do. On I do, you're going to play a C add 9. So that's just a C, a G, and a C in your left hand, or if you want to keep it simple, a C, and in your right hand an E, a G, and a D. This D is the 9 here. That's like the key. That's the key, but one of the key sort of notes. Okay, might be a stretch for some people, but I think you can give it a shot. You can always put it down here if you can't reach it up here. All right. All right. So that's the first part, but I do. And then this next part sounds like this. Turn the lock and put my headphones on. He always said he didn't get this song. So that part is it's almost like you're playing the first half of the verse again. The only difference is you're playing a B in your left hand. So it's a G chord just like in the beginning, but you're going to put a B in your left hand, or 2. Maybe just 1, make it a little less overwhelming. Okay, so B in your left hand and that G chord from the beginning, from the first part in your right hand. Turn the lock and put my headphones on. He always said he didn't get this song, but I do. And I do, you go back to that C add 9. Same chord as before. Alright? So that's your verse chunk right there, that A section. You're going to repeat that A section again, including that part with the G. 2, 2, 3, the 2 measures. And then, walked in expecting you'd be late, but you got here early and you stand and wait, but I walked to you. Whatever. So it sort of encompasses that thing that sounds like an intro back into the verse. Alright, so there, you've got the verse section. It's actually not too bad. Mostly 2 chords with that little trick of being over the B there. So you've got a verse, and then another verse, and then the B section, or the chorus, sounds like this. You throw your head back laughing like a little kid. I think it's strange that you think I'm funny, cause he never did. I can't sing it really well, so I apologize, but so I'll just show you that first part. You're going to start with, and you throw your head back laughing like a, that's a C add 9. So that's the last chord you played out of the verse. So you pretty much just stay where you are. Alright? Like a little kid. Little kid is a D sus4. Now, I like to play a D sus4 7. Or D7 sus4. Which just basically means that I've got a 7th note in there. If that makes sense to you, cool. Otherwise, don't worry about it. If you want to just play the D sus4, you can play a D, an A, and a D in your left hand, and a G and an A. This is the key part right here. Amen. Kind of like the first part of Amen. Alright? So that's your D sus4. And then you're going to go, I think it's strange that you think I'm funny, because I think it's strange that you think I'm funny is an E minor 7. So I'm playing it like this. E, B, and E in the left hand. G, B, and D in the right hand. So this is the 7 here. You got an E minor chord and then the 7. Alright? He never did. He never did. So before he never did, you're going to go into a G. That's G's in your left hand. D, G, B, and D if you can reach another octave. We went over this chord. Never did. And then, and I've been spending the last 8 months just thinking all love ever does is break, burn, and end. That part right there is just, so you're going to go back to that C add 9, and then you're going back to that D sus4, just like the first two chords. And then this time, you're going to jump to a G, and you're going to do this like walk down. This is the break, burn, and end. I'm making up my own melody because I don't know, I can't sing it. So you've got a G, G's in your left hand, just like that G major chord from before. And then you're going to go D over an F sharp. So if you're playing the G chord like this with the D in your thumb, D, G, and B, and if you can reach another D, when you move to the D over an F sharp, it'll be, look how easy it'll be. Your left thumb will go from a G to an F sharp here, and your right hand will just go to a D by sliding these two down, so your thumb will stay where it is. D, F sharp, A. So that's actually kind of an easy way to do it. So you've got G, break, burn, D over an F sharp, and then E minor 7. So E minor 7, you just, basically you can just go back to that G chord in your right hand. That's one way to think about it. And in your left hand, play an E. Because what's happening here is you're playing all the right notes for the chord, E minor 7. So if that's confusing, don't worry about it. In your left hand, just play an E. In your right hand, D, G, and B. All right? Break, break, and burn, and end. And I like to continue walking down a little bit. You don't have to do that. But on a Wednesday in a cafe, on a Wednesday is a C add 9. That's C add 9 again. In a cafe, D sus4. I watched it begin again. All right, so I watched it begin again, and you're gonna come out of that in a G. And you're gonna go into another verse. So that's the chorus part. You just learned the verse and the chorus. Now you're really close. You're gonna go back into that verse, play another G. You're gonna play another verse. You're gonna play another chorus after that verse, and then you're gonna go into the bridge. And the bridge comes out of that chorus. Watched it, but on a Wednesday in a cafe, I watched it begin again. And then this is the bridge. It's a G, C add 9. This should look pretty familiar. And then a D sus4. All right, so that like structure, that G, C add 9, D sus4 is probably pretty familiar to you at this point. And then the bridge continues on by jumping back into a C add 9. And it's gonna do sort of this bouncy thing. You'll see what I mean. And we walk down the block to my car. I don't really know how to sing this part. But anyway, we walk down the block to my car. Switches back to a D sus4. So you're switching between a C add 9, which you remember, these are the key notes here. And then you're going to keep switching between a D sus4 for a while. To my car. I almost brought him up. Okay, well, I'm forgetting exactly how to put it in. But basically the key here is you switch to C add 9 to a D sus4. And back to a C add 9. And to that D sus4. So it's kind of bouncing. C add 9 again. And then the last part, is the part where it starts to change is like that your family watches every single Christmas. And I will talk about that. Oh, I can't remember how to sing it. You guys are going to yell at me for this. Anyway, you jump to a G for it, and I will talk about that. And for the first time, what's past is past. For the first time, what's past is past. That last part, you end the bridge with a C add 9. And it sort of floats out, what's past is past, and then this guitar picking comes in, and it's kind of like a G. You just sort of like play a G. So I'm going to go over that bridge again because I was sort of like a doofus there, and I'm just going to go with the chorus because my singing's obviously going to mess you up. But you should listen to the original and play along, all right? So you've got a G, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, C add 9, D sus4. That sort of like starts the bridge, and then there's this. The lyrics part are C add 9, D sus4, C add 9, D sus4, C add 9, G, C add 9, floats out there, and then it goes to a G, very briefly, all right? And the reason I say briefly is because the next part is the chorus. The chorus chunk, as you will probably remember, that B block starts with a C add 9. So even though you're back to this G for a little while out of the bridge, you're going to come right back into the C add 9 for the chorus. All right, so you're going to do the chorus one more time. So, but on a cafe. Oh, sorry, but on a Wednesday in a cafe. watched it begin again. Now, the only difference, the end of the last chorus has one of these little walk downs. You remember that G to a D over an F sharp, and then an E minor 7. And then the ending, little end chunk, goes like this. You'll recognize it. But on a Wednesday in a cafe. I'm singing it low because it's out of my range. And then the only difference is I watched it begin again. Instead of playing a D sus4, the whole song ends on D. D major. So that's D, A, and D in your left hand. F sharp, A, D in your right hand if you can reach it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, I bet you would also like this tutorial. It's another Taylor Swift song. And let's see what else. If you want to watch the piano cover of this song, where I do some kind of my own version, click on that video over there. I'm sort of just guessing. Hopefully that works out. And if you want to see something kind of cool that you probably aren't expecting, click on that video right there. As always, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. I got a lot of awesome, secret surprises that I'm working on for you guys that I think will be coming out hopefully over the next couple of months. But some cool stuff. All right, talk to you later.